I am told, I am told that on the last day, as you were leaving jail, some of your inmates, fellow inmates, asked you to dance for them. And you did a dance for them? Is that true?
Yeah, so the day I got bail, my brother didn't get bail. And I was devastated. It was the only day that I broke down entirely in jail. And I had promised all the girls ki, I'll नाचूंगी. They were like, अब हमारे लिए नाचो, नाचो, नाचो. I said, जिस दिन bail होगी उस दिन नाचूंगी. अब bail हो गई. But I was not happy. My heart was hurting. So I kind of refused them at first when the jailer came up to me and said, रहने दो तुम मत करो. And I said, हाँ, हाँ, हाँ. But as she walked away, I said, you know what? I am leaving. And I'm probably never going to see these women again. And if I can give them that 5 minutes of happiness by putting on a dance performance for them, then why the hell not? And so I did. And it was the most ecstatic moment of my life because we were practically doing the nagin dance on the floor. And
You all did a Nagin dance in Baikala jail. I would have liked to be there as a fly on the wall.
on the floor. And the excitement and joy and happiness that I saw in these women's eyes while I was dancing for them, with them, is probably the highest point of my life till date.
You know, since then, you've done MTV Roadies recently, but you haven't done a film. Or you haven't signed on a film, or no one's come to you and said, Rhea, we want you for a film. How has the Hindi film industry looked at you? You walk into a room with all these big producers, directors, actors. Do they also see you in some way possibly as the vamp out there? Do you believe that even Bollywood also judges people much like the rest of society very easily, and you've been judged all too easily?
I think Bollywood is also people. Like they are also people. Some people are nice, some people are not nice, some people are judgmental, some people are empathetic. I have, however, experienced a kind side of them. As far as work is concerned, कई बार तो मैंने ही उनको मना किया कि मत लो मुझे फिल्म में, आप भी ट्रोल हो जाओगे. अच्छा अभी वक्त नहीं है इतना, अभी आप मुझे फिल्म में लोगे, फिल्म ट्रोल होगी, आप ट्रोल होगे, and it won't work for the film. So that fire had to die down for someone to now probably come around and say, let's do a film together. And maybe my ambitions and my understanding of the world has changed a bit now. But having said that, to satisfy the unrequited dream of the 17-year-old me who came to Bombay City to make it in Bollywood, I don't want to make it in Bollywood.
You don't want
I would want to make
You
it.
still want to.
Just for
So
her.
that dream still lives on. That you want to one day still make it in Bollywood. You think that's possible?
Dreams are not meant to be broken or crushed. I had a dream, I'll still have that dream, and I'll pursue it maybe for the rest of my life.
You know, while you chase these dreams, the question will come that how does one get closure? When you've gone through what you have, as I said, you've gone to hell and back, what will it take for Rhea Chakraborty to believe this is a closed chapter in my life? I simply look at a new world. What will that take? How do you get closure? Or have you already got it?
I don't think closure is the right word. I don't think you can get closure from something like this. The thing is that I faced a personal loss. There can never be closure on that front. It's grief. It engulfs your life at start, and then your life starts growing around it. But it always exists. It's always there in your back pocket. It's always going to rear its head from the back and be like, I'm here. I'm still there. Don't think I've gone. So I don't think I'll get closure in that sense. But has my world perspective changed? Yes. Am I willing to be inspired by life and people? And am I feeling motivated again to put on a nice dress and come and give an interview? Yes. So I think that's as good as closure as it gets for me for now.
How much of this, and I'm just going to get the cameras slowly to move to your family, how much of this strength that I see from you today, and even what I saw in August 2020, despite the fact that you broke down in between, is because you were convinced that your family was convinced that you were innocent?
All of it. I think my entire strength, resilience came from my family. My father being in the army, I think, we had that army upbringing. And I remember when, everything was at its peak. He told me, he said, in the army, when we are getting shot at, we don't lie down and go. We stand up and take the bullet on our shoulder. We take it. So take it. And even then, if you have to go, you'll go. But at least you stood up and you gave yourself a last fighting chance. So I would give it entirely to my family. If it wasn't for my mom, dad, and my brother, and even Nidhi, my friend, is here. Some of my other friends, Shibani Dandekar, Anisha, a few of my girlfriends who stood by me. We were a handful of people. And we were facing mobs the size of billions. But I think that's all you need. 3, 4 people who trust you and love you. They are pillars of sanity, and you're good, you're golden.
You felt those television cameras that were entering your life were like a mob?
Yeah, they were a mob, weren't they? I felt like those cameras were guns, were they not?
Yeah, those are the pictures. You felt the camera was intruding right into your life.
It doesn't get any closer than that, even in terms of physical space.
I want to, for a moment, turn to Mr. and Mrs. Chakraborty. Mrs. Chakraborty, there's a mic that I'm going to give you there. You don't want to say a word. Your mum doesn't want to speak, but possibly your dad, who I remember was there that evening when I met you for the first time. Have you all come to terms with what what happened to your daughter and your son?
Good evening, sir. We'll never come to terms with whatever happened because no parent can come to terms with their kids being thrown in jail. But yes, acceptance, slow and steady, does come out.
Acceptance. Shobik, you're a young man who was hoping to go and do an MBA abroad. You still also have charges against you. Have you come to terms with the fact that you were thrown into jail?
I just feel like it's like a part and parcel now. It's just a part of my life which I have to get through and go ahead with. And charges has actually charged me up even more. So I think life has I have a long time to go ahead.
When you see your mum and dad there and your brother, who also was charged with you, I mean, what kind of family conversations have you had in the last couple of years? It can't be easy. They're putting up a brave front. Your mum doesn't want to speak.
Yeah. It's only natural that they don't want to speak. I think I'm very proud of them for even being here and supporting me and being in front of cameras and media, given that media was the enemy. And media was intruding into our lives and ripping us apart piece by piece and trying to destroy us for no understanding of ours. Like, we don't understand it till late. But I'm very proud of them, and I think the only reason we've gotten through this is because we've each stood by each other. Everyone had a bad day and everyone had a weak day, but as a family we had this family glue that kind of told each other, today this one is going down, so you have to let us all put down a brave front, let us all be better for this person. So we stuck together. The unity we had, we truly served under my father in that time. I believe we were like a small regiment and he was the colonel. So I would like to say, Colonel Chakraborty, it's been a pleasure serving under you.